So Spiral is something that came together in late 2012 after approximately 12 years of experiments. And what I'd been looking for a very long time was a way to set myself free from my ancestral conditioning. So, all the patterns you get from your parents and the limitations and stories you pick up from the experiences you have growing up. And all these things really felt like they were holding me back and kind of locking me into a certain character and a certain story. And one by one, I investigated different disciplines to help me free up my emotional body or my thinking or my energy field or my ability to get certain types of results. And what really happened is when I started combining all those things together, this map emerged. And that map is what I call the spiral, because we mixed the chakra system with a study called spiral dynamics and with another idea called the scale of consciousness. And when you put those three things together, they sort of reveal this truth about human consciousness, which is that the low and heavy vibrating emotions are lower down and at the bottom, and the expansive, awakened sort of feeling emotions are at the top. And what I figured is if you could free up all of those emotions and all of those feelings, you would become a being that could exist in the dark and in the light and in the heavy vibes and in the light vibes, and you will be able to freely move through life. And so when I discovered this map, I started using kinesiology to clear the different emotions on the list and the different states and stages that were indicated by these different studies. And what it did to me, what I perceive it did to me, is just open up my full consciousness, that I became someone who had been sort of somewhat asleep and somewhat trapped in his own stories to someone who was much more present and much more empowered to create whatever he wanted. And when I started taking other people through this process, the same thing seemed to happen to them. They would make more money, they would attract the partners they wanted, and all these other sort of surface things. But what was really happening is they were more in their body, they were more present, and they were more consciously aware of what they were creating in their lives. So Spiral is really for people, for anyone who feels like there's unconscious conditioning or baggage holding them back and they haven't been able to get rid of it yet. And I see this from people who are really struggling in life to super high achievers to all kinds of walks of life. When we take them through this process, when we shed emotions like shame, guilt, fear, grief, etc., they just become themselves. They're more able to step into their authentic self and create the life that they want to have. So if you feel there is still some stuff preventing you from being yourself, you should investigate and come and learn more about the spiral.